International NGO Forum is the platform organization that hosts the Uganda, the local and national civil society organizations platform. And this platform is a platform that brings together a number of local and national civil society organizations that are interested in this whole question of humanitarian action and disaster and all that. We had to find ways in which we can bring together local organizations so that they can play a part in the work of humanitarian action. In this current learning event that we have held here in Bugisu, we looked at the question of how we can integrate disaster and risk reduction into the work of local and national actors, especially at the local government level.
The financing is not there, or they don't really plan, they don't incorporate it in their plans. That means if it's not in your plan, you're not going to receive money for it.
There is a lot of ignorance by the actors about the disaster risk management framework or policies. Two, there is a challenge of technical personnel at the district level who can understand the complexity of disaster risk management, as I feel that it brings in broad knowledge from different areas. Then the third one, there is a challenge of funding for the interventions that are in line with the disaster risk management. So I find that because of that limited funding, there is nothing much that can be done to manage these risks or to reduce these risks.
They are very important because they draw people from different backgrounds, like CSOs, local government, and other partners, plus the government itself. So they do up sharing so many skills and also understanding how best they are financed, how best it can be handled, and how best we can come up with a better solution as a community, addressing such scenarios in the communities.
You know, disaster risk management is a complex thing that it requires different disciplines or different sectors to handle that issue because it's complex. So different people can share experiences, their knowledge and skills, so that we can come up with a uniform solution to disaster risk.
The recommendation I can make now is that when the districts are planning, they need to plan for disasters, they need to plan for hazards because they know they occur. So they have to plan for that. And they have to work with the local population because the local population, they are the first responders and they have information about when the disasters are likely to occur.
Making disaster financing sustainable, one starts with having prevention mechanisms, incorporating them, having the mechanisms and also incorporating them in our district development plans. We've seen situations where the financing is mainly centralized and slowly sectors are beginning to incorporate disaster prevention and mitigation measures in their budgets. Sectors like environment, agriculture.
We have a loose coalition that has merely talked about issues of disaster and how we should integrate it in our plans for implementation. However, we need to do more in regard to having a strong network that can address disaster risk reduction and management. Each department, in line to implementation, should talk about issues of disaster risk management, reduction and management, and basically urging communities now, like for the case of the impending landslides, inform communities, encourage them to move to safe places. Quite importantly is that we have been leaving issues of disaster risk reduction and management to international agencies. But now we must localize these issues, and the role of local actors must be enhanced to ensure that we are able to manage disaster ourselves at a local level.
There's a need to prioritize integration of this management approach into the worker plans, right from the grassroots to the district, such that we can know and align how the effects are coming up, how best we can approach, and what is the scope of and the magnitude of the disaster.
Local governments were able to share with us their information in terms of what they have at a local level. We were also able to have some understanding of what is it that the research on local and on integration of disaster risk reduction is. So that also came out, and we had it coming out. But we also had a chance to come together as partners to also think about what actions we need to take and what issues we need to do a lot of mobilization on. And so there was a lot of action planning at the end of the event, where we went into specifically looking at the ways in which we can improve the integration of the, disaster and risk reduction strategies into the local government planning processes. We also today had the opportunity as the members of the Humanitarian platform to also participate in what are called the Global Day of Action on the Sustainable Development Goals. We have been able to share a lot of information even with some young people in this region so that they could understand what the Sustainable Development Goals are, but also what they can do at their own level as young people.
This workshop, not like the many workshops which we have been having in Kampala, where maybe you have international, national NGOs coming together. Here we had even the local, the sub-county, village level, CSOs coming together and sharing with us. They are the experts when you look at issues of disasters and hazards are occurring in their areas. So we need to learn from them. Yeah, so the sharing was good and I liked it.
In today's workshop, I learned that there are many organizations on the ground which are actually working on disaster risk management mitigation or adaptation, but they don't know that they are contributing indirectly or directly towards that cause.